Thank you, Chairman. Again, thank you all for being here. General Fenton and Mr. Jenkins, thank you both for testifying before the committee on SOF. So I was grateful for the opportunity to travel with Chairman Wicker last year to JSOC at Fort Bragg and to talk about the important work that SOF is doing, not only in North Carolina, but around the world. General Fenton, how would you characterize the demand and requirements for Special Operations Forces, particularly in crisis response? It's General Fenton.
Senator, first, thanks for visiting our forces, and thanks for allowing us to be in the great state of North Carolina.
Our honor.
Appreciate all the hospitality there. I know all our forces do. I would offer, in my opening statement, I laid out a couple. I think in terms of crisis response, we have seen a pace and a scale and duration that I frankly have not seen in my 20 to 30 years in the special operations community. It is called on more, so there's a requirement that's gone up by 200% in the last 3.5 years. That's on or about 15 missions where we've been asked to get out very quickly and do the type of missions that I mentioned. Either recover diplomats, protect an embassy, or at some point, maybe even recover a U.S. citizen. I think I don't anticipate the world to get any less volatile, and that looks like a pattern to me. And so I think that demand has certainly gone up. In deterrence, the combatant commanders have asked for special operations in the last 2 years at an increase of about 35% to do the type of missions that they're looking for us to do that could involve anything from partner-based training to unilateral operations that would give them additional opportunities and advantages, maybe an unfair outsized advantage, and give the adversaries a bunch of dilemmas and challenges. So I think I anticipate that going up. And then I just mentioned earlier, terrorism is not done with us. And I think we absolutely have to stay focused on the threat that ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and Al-Shabaab pose. And all three of those missions are absolutely in SOF wheelhouse.
General, talk a little bit about, you gave some numbers, 35% increase in area, 200% in another area. When you're called upon, how often do you have to say no because of that increased demand and perhaps the lack of readiness or rest or requirements that are needed?
Senator, I think that that question is at the heart of something the Command Sergeant Major and I think about every day. That's risk. And I think in this case, that risk is a combination of operational risk. Do we have the capability and the capacity? And then for the first time, certainly in my memory, fiscal constraint risk. Can we actually do it? I think that drives to the heart of, I've had to say no in some instances in deterrence where I feel like I am taking risk, almost 41 times in the last year, to combatant commanders that would want Special Forces operational detachments, so 12 Green Berets, folks who may want command and control nodes, and I could go on and give you additional examples in a closed session. But I think it's certainly way too often, and my sense is that, first, that is risk. We're not meeting the combatant commander's demands in a special ops peculiar way. I'm also taking risk in modernization. And in a sense, I feel like I'm saying no to the SOCOM enterprise when we don't have the top line increase and the budget needed to modernize not only technology, but certainly our humans. So we think about education for an uncertain world. That's modernization. And on top of that, certainly even our authorities. So I think I say no way too much, and then those two categories, to combatant commanders in deterrence, and frankly, to where we need to be as a SOCOM enterprise to win tomorrow, just like we've been winning today and in the past years.
Thank you for that, and lots of other questions, either for the record or the closed session. Mr. Jenkins, again, thank you for being here. See if you're tracking this provision in the Senate fiscal year 26 NDAA. Includes a provision requiring the Assistant Secretary of Defense for SOLIC and the Commander of Special Operations to ensure the annual defense planning guidance includes specific guidance for requirements and employments of special operation forces across the spectrum of conflict. Are you tracking that, sir? And care to elaborate?
Yes, and thank you for that very much. So with our interim national defense strategic guidance, we have 3 lines of effort: defend the homeland, deter China, and increase burden sharing. And the only force that can fill in or blend across all 3 lines of effort there is the Special Operations Force. And in my service-like capacity, I've been able to advocate and make sure that as the defense planning guidance goes forward and now gets underway in earnest, that my peers, my counterparts, ensure that SOF is adequately and thoroughly accounted for in all 3 lines of effort there, and not just as an asterisk, that we play a major part.
Thank you both again.